Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to check in with Ferris State men's basketball. And we're joined by head coach Andy Bronkema. Coach, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the great start, 8-0 and ranked 5th in the country here this past week. And certainly you've got to be pleased with the way your guys have started the season.
Yeah, we tried to load up the schedule, and we knew we were going to have some tough games, and we've just squeaked everyone out. So now we're 8-0 and trying to keep that rolling. Obviously, you want to win every game, and we've done that so far, and we want to keep doing it as long as we can. Just knowing that our schedule still has plenty of tough competition and some games that are going to come down to the wire. So is it likely that we go undefeated? No, but that's what we're trying to do. That's what every team tries to do, tries to win every game they play.
Obviously some high expectations coming into the year with some of the guys you had coming back, basically an entire team from last season and some new additions. Just talk about how they've worked hard and tried to match those expectations here early on.
Well, it was important for everybody to come back with an extra tool, an extra skill, an improvement, some part of their game that was better than the year before. I think our guys did that. But we're still a newer team than people can see on the outside. I mean, we got guys at different positions. We have new faces coming in, and when you have such a veteran team for the most part, but then you have to graft in some guys that are brand new, haven't played. How do you teach them? Do you teach them based on, well, they know everything that they've learned in the last 3 years, but these two other guys haven't. They don't know anything. So you kind of have to find that happy medium, and we have room to grow, and we plan on doing that.
This past week, you took on Olivet, went into the Thanksgiving holiday with a big win, and then taking on a very good team in Findlay on Saturday night. A huge matchup here in terms of the region here early in the year.
Well, I mean, Olivet is a heck of a Division III team. They're not a typical Division III team. They have a lot of scholarship transfers, NAIA, Division II, junior college, and they play an exciting style of basketball. And they had us on our heels, played really well, and we were able to execute down the stretch and win that game. And then we're able to play a game on Saturday that was kind of circled on the calendar just because Findlay is the class of the region and has been for a number of years. And they're coming to our place. They knocked us off twice last year in great games, overtime game in the regular season, and then the tournament games. So it's fun to play against Findlay because they're a great team, well coached, and their kids are just pure competitors. There's no real bad blood at all. It's just a great atmosphere to compete against Findlay. So this one went down to the wire again. Pretty much as we expected.
Got off to a pretty solid start here. Peter Furlick with the basket right there, but kind of back and forth here for most of the way.
Well, they got off to a quick start, hitting some shots, and they're a shot-making team. And what I mean is, they just got some guys that can make some shots that go in over good defense, and that's tough to deal with at times. But 40 minutes of defensive pressure, how we wanted to, and we held them to a pretty low field goal percentage, which I was extremely happy about.
Zach Hankins with the big block right there, and obviously he's helped over the years having his presence right there in the middle of the paint.
Yeah, he does a good job of knowing when to come out, when to stay in, and our guys move around him well in our defensive principles. So it's nice to have a rim protector, and but it's a defensive team effort, so guys know how to move around him well. There was Jalen McFadden again. We missed his three-pointer, but for a redshirt freshman to come up as big as he did in a big game was pretty exciting to see, and his future is really bright.
Big shot here from D'Angelo Hughes, and obviously you're taking on a Findlay team that's got a great nucleus back from last season as well with a lot of veteran players.
I mean, they pretty much returned the same firepower that we did, and they got a couple newcomers that are also pretty good, and they take care of the ball well. Their bigs can shoot the three. They got two powerful scorers. They don't get outside of their system much. They play a little zone and tough man-to-man and pack it in, and they run their stuff offensively. So it's just a joy to compete against these guys.
4-point halftime lead. Noah King with the three right there, and obviously the second half kind of back and forth. What were some keys there in the second half?
Just sticking with it, and just a few balls to bounce our way and create a few bounces our way. This possession right here might define the game. When it's a 1-point game, an extra possession like that matters a lot. So get a steal here, give it right back to him, go down, get him to miss a layup, come up with it. Just plays like this is just craziness. 2 possessions of craziness right there, and sometimes you get that when 2 teams early on in the season are slugging it out. we've been a little turnover happy the last few games, something we want to work on. But our guys and our team, our staff, we know we have tons of things to work on, and we're no different than anybody else that's just trying to get better every day.
Obviously, here are two teams that like to score the basketball, but a very hard-fought defensive contest here.
Yeah, some teams that are familiar with each other, and maybe a few jitters, but just tough defense. And it was a very physical game. It was called consistently. It was called different than some of our other games this year, where a lot was being let go. A lot of two hands on players. People falling over, perhaps traveling. No calls, jump balls that were very physical. So it was even both ways, but it was a different type of physicality. And I don't know if we adjusted to that right away real well, but at the end, even that little layup there by Cush, just pausing for an extra second, gaining his balance and shooting it versus going up with some type of fluidity. You weren't able to be fluid in this game. There was a lot of bumping and displacing.
Obviously, down here in the contest, put a chance to set up the final play, and had a great shot here from Noah King.
Yeah, we knew they were going to go zone. Well, we didn't know, but we had a pretty good hunch that they were going to go zone after we called timeout. So we set up a zone play, put guys in position, and that was a little breakdown of what was drawn up on the board. And players were making plays. Noah made a good cut. Pete found him, and he made a very difficult finish around the hoop. And just happy for Noah. He deserves that. A lot of players out there deserve it, but Noah's a great guy, and for him to make that game-winning shot, and now he's been Player of the Week in the conference, pretty cool for him.
This week, you open conference plays. You take on the Tiffin Dragons, the Ashland Eagles. Talk about starting GLIAC play now as the schedule picks up.
Well, we got to be ready because it's another notch and another level of intensity when you get to conference play, and we've had a pretty intense preseason by design, but it doesn't matter how intense your preseason is. The conference season is more intense. And then once you start playing teams twice in the conference, it gets even more intense. And then the GLIAC, and then the playoffs, if we're fortunate to get in the playoffs, NCAA. So it just keeps getting more intense and more intense. And our guys seem to thrive on that. They like that. And we'll see what happens here.
Finally here quickly, obviously nice to be playing here at home to start conference play. You've had a long home stretch here and excited to play in front of the home fans.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody that comes out to the games. And if you haven't come out to a game yet, you're missing a pretty good show. We're bringing in great teams with talented players, and we're playing well ourselves. So just keep coming to the games. But the people that are showing up, couldn't be more thankful for those fans and the energy that they bring. And to start the conference with 2 home games, it's going to be nice to be in Wink Arena. It's probably the first time we play Ashland in the regular season at home in the last several years, where we're actually in Wink. We're usually at Big Rapids or somewhere crazy. So, but it'll be nice to be in Wink, that's for sure.
And Coach, congratulations again on the 8-0 start.
Thanks, Robert.
That's going to do it for Ferris Sports Update. Reminder, you can follow all the action online at ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Have a great week.